You're alive.
All right, good evening and welcome to what we believe will be our last meeting here before we get to move back into the newly renovated City Hall. So enjoy this room while you can. This is a regular meeting of the Bangor City Council. Today is Monday, July 28th, 2025. It is 7 p.m. We begin our meetings with the Pledge of Allegiance. I'd like to ask our Business and Economic Development Director, Ann Krieg, to lead us in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. This is the portion of the meeting set aside for general public comment related to city business that do not appear on the evening's agenda. Public comment, whether in person or via Zoom, requires you to state your name and whether you are a resident of Bangor. The City Council has adopted a public comment policy that we will adhere to that governs topics, comments considered out of order or offensive or confidential, and a time limit of 15 minutes at the beginning of the meeting, with the ability of the chair to reopen public comment at the conclusion of the regular business meeting. Each person is limited to 3 minutes during the public comment period. The public comment period is intended for City Council members to listen, not to respond or debate with persons during the public comment period, although we may ask questions. If you do not live in Bangor or own property in Bangor, please allow those who do to have the opportunity to speak first. If you'd like to offer a comment on any item related to city business that does not appear on the regular agenda, you may approach the podium. On Zoom, the public can be recognized to speak by using the hand raise function or on the phone by pressing *9.
Good evening, my name is Michael Norton. I'm a resident of Bangor. I don't believe anything I have to say is confidential tonight. The Georgia Lawyer, the Blue Devil, and the Shade is the title of a landmark courtroom case featured in a motion picture screenplay I'm writing right now, in which the United States Centers for Disease and Control are represented along with a scientist by the Georgian lawyer to win the case for them and bring a modernized translation of the periodic table of elements from the perspective of magnetism for the people of the United States of America. When we hear the United States CDC, the two operative words are United States. It's for everyone. But the media loves, and the scholarly research love to present them with the caveat, if you will, headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia, all the time. But in fact, it's everywhere. We have a main CDC under the jurisdiction of the Health and Human Services. And if we talk on the phone with a Parkinson's professional in Los Angeles, California, within the Cedars-Sinai web, as I call it today, and they update us saying we're not very close to a cure on Parkinson's, we can say that they don't know what they're doing. And the CDC needs to modernize a periodic table of elements, just like they're trying to modernize the clocks that have been the same since 1955 with the new lunar time coordinate system. So let's pray for the Georgian lawyer, the blue devil, and the Shade. The reason why the sky is blue isn't published by Google or any of the TV networks or the news media or any of the defendants on that side of this court case. None of the newsies know why the sky is blue, not even online or in our universities today, in the US or outside of the US. So the big payoff for this movie and court case is to have a jury of 12 sit there and tell us their reason why the sky is blue, to their knowledge, and then have the Georgian lawyer side with the CDC, give them the science and the policy publishing power to modernize the periodic table of elements, and explain to the judge and the trial jury and the people watching why the sky is actually blue, because it's a cure for immunological disease from cancer to AIDS, to Parkinson's, many neurological disorders. And The Walking Dead is a television show. When I got to Bangor, Maine 8 years ago, I almost fell flat on my face in consideration of all the troubled
Thumbs up.
people around here.
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah, this is wild. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Scott Party, and I'm a resident of Bangor, and I'm speaking tonight about the relentless increase in property taxes and its devastating ripple effect throughout our community. We are witnessing a horrifying trend, the direct correlation between escalating property tax burdens and the tragic expansion of our homeless population. For many Bangor residents, especially those on fixed incomes, rising taxes are not just an inconvenience, they are a direct threat to their ability to keep a roof over their heads. When home ownership becomes prohibitive, families are forced into housing instability and for far too many outright homelessness. Our city is becoming increasingly unaffordable, and the human cost of this crisis is visible on our streets every day. Our tax policies are in part contributing to the very problem we are trying to solve. This leads me into a critical question. What is our current property tax collection rate? If that rate is indeed down, as many of us suspect, then we must confront the uncomfortable truth our taxes are simply becoming too high for our citizens to bear. A declining collection rate indicates we are pushing our residents beyond their financial limits. We are taxing our citizens to the point where the city cannot effectively collect, then the system itself is broken. I understand and appreciate the vital need for essential city services. Our police, fire, public works, schools are the backbone of our community. I also fully support the well-being and fair compensation of our dedicated city employees. These are non-negotiable necessities. However, a critical balance must be struck. If our drive to fund these services through property tax pushes citizens past their breaking point, leading to widespread distress and a diminished collection rate, we are failing our residents and jeopardizing the city's long-term physical health. Beyond essential services, we must scrutinize how our tax dollars are being spent. We cannot afford to fund unsustainable projects or to take on bond issues we can't afford. We must ask, how much did the city go over budget because something as fundamental as wiring at City Hall was forgotten? What was the additional cost to send those public outhouses back to be made ADA compliant when they were already installed? These are significant expenditures that directly impact our budget and, by extension, our property taxes. These examples raise serious questions about oversight and accountability. Who is minding the store when these costly errors occur? Where does the buck stop? Our citizens deserve transparency and assurance that their hard-earned money is being managed with the utmost care and competence. We need clear answers and a commitment to preventing such unavoidable expenses. And let's not turn a blind eye to the direct consequences of these failures. We see the woman living in the public outhouse by the library. This is not just a statistic. It is a human being, a member of our community, forced into unimaginable circumstances. Her presence is a stark reminder of the urgent need for change and compassionate action. Councillors, we must reevaluate our approach.
Your time is
We
up.
need
Thank
property
you.
tax strategy that is sustainable, equitable.
Mr. Party, your time is up. Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening, councilors and fellow residents. For the record, my name is Amy Baldwin. I am a proud resident of Bangor. I'm also a local realtor here. I stand before you tonight to address the critical issue that deeply impacts the fabric of our community, property taxes and their profound effects on our most vulnerable citizens. Bangor is a wonderful place to call home, but the rising burden of property taxes is creating an unsustainable situation, particularly for our fixed income and retired residents. For many, their home represents their largest asset and their most significant source of security. However, as property valuations climb and tax rates follow suit, these residents, who often live on static incomes, find themselves in an increasingly precarious position. They are faced with an agonizing choice: cut back on essential medications, groceries, utilities, the list goes on, or risk being taxed out of the very homes they've lived in for decades. We're losing the wisdom and stability that these long-term residents bring to our neighborhoods simply because they can no longer afford to stay. We must consider the human cost of these rising taxes and explore avenues for relief, such as targeted tax deferral programs, or expanded homestead exemptions to ensure our seniors can age in place with dignity. Furthermore, it's impossible to discuss the economic pressures on our residents without acknowledging Bangor's undeniable role as an epicenter for homeless people in the northern half of our state. While we're a city that offers vital services and support, this also means we bear a disproportionate share of the challenge. The connection between rising property taxes, escalating housing costs, and the growing crisis of homelessness is undeniable. When the cost of living becomes prohibitive for those on the margins, more individuals and families are pushed into housing insecurity. This in turn places immense strain on our emergency shelters, social services, and even our public safety resources. Addressing property tax burdens is not just about financial relief, it's a crucial component of a broader strategy to combat homelessness by ensuring more stable and affordable housing options for everyone. Councilors, these issues of property tax burden and homelessness are intertwined, reflecting a systemic challenge that demands our immediate and collaborative attention. I urge you to consider the long-term implications of our current tax structure and to actively seek innovative solutions that protect our fixed-income residents and address the root causes of homelessness in our community. Let us work together to ensure Bangor remains a place where all residents, regardless of income or age, can afford to live and thrive. Thank you so much for your time and consideration. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Chris Hendricks. My wife and I own the property at 401 Essex. We bought 2 years ago to the day today. And I just have this is new to me, a code enforcement question, I guess. I have some photos, and there's a property next to mine that has a lot of trash and garbage, and I've gone to the code enforcement window a couple times and kind of haven't gotten any results, kind of forgot. Seems like they got a lot going on, maybe between moving back to the new building, and not sure if there's someone that can touch base with me after this meeting, maybe someone who represents my area, but got some photos. I don't know if I could give that to anybody.
Yes, will you please give it to the city manager?
And I just wanted to mention that, kind of, I see things in a different way, kind of trying to bring value to them. We put thousands into the house, trying to, property taxes go up, but my value goes up, and I'm kind of playing the game. And I just need a little bit of help with a neighbor in their trash pile next door, and trying to do my best, because I'd like to kind of be like Upper Essex, which is a lot nicer than my section of Essex.
Thank you.
Yeah, maybe that's right. That's nice.
Is there anyone else in the room who'd like to give public comment? Seeing no hands online, public comment is closed. We'll move on to consent agenda.
Minutes of Bangor City Council meeting of July 14th, 2025, Finance Committee meeting of July 21st, 2025, and Government Operations Committee meetings of June 16th, 2025, and July 21st, 2025. 25-238 order authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with Maine Department of Transportation for 2025 operation and maintenance of all traffic signals within the city of Bangor. 25-239 order accepting an in-kind donation of an outdoor gazebo valued at $950 for the Bangor Fire Department. 25-240 order amending City Hall hours from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. to 8 a.m. to 4:15 p.m. effective August 11th, 2025. 25-241 order authorizing the city manager to execute a temporary lease agreement with the Bangor Water District for communication devices to be placed on the new water tower located at 55 Cleveland Street. 25-242 order authorizing the city manager to execute contracts with Patagus US LLC and Remedy Alliance LLC for the purchase of naloxone. 25-243 order authorizing the execution of a collective bargaining agreement between the City of Bangor and American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, Local 92609, Council 93, representing customer service representatives.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Move passage of the consent agenda.
Second.
A motion, there's a second. Seeing no doubt, consent agenda has passage. Referrals to committee and first reading.
25-244 resolved, accepting and appropriating an airport improvement program grant in the amount of $4,275,136 from the Federal Aviation Administration and $112,503 from Maine Department of Transportation for the airport runway, first reading. 25-245 resolved, accepting and appropriating an airport improvement grant under the bipartisan infrastructure law program in the amount of $31,605 from the Federal Aviation Administration and $831 from Maine Department of Transportation, first reading.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Move referral to committees and first reading.
Second.
There's a motion, there's a second. These items are referred. Unfinished business.
25-231 ordinance, amending Chapter 165 Land Development Code, District Map to rezone a property located at 509 Canduskeg Avenue from high-density residential and urban residence 1 district to high-density residential. Councilor Mallett.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. This ordinance would amend the Land Development Code District Map to rezone the property at map lot R34-031-A, located at 509 Canduskeg Avenue, from a combination of high-density residential and urban resident 1 districts to only high-density residential. The total area requested to be changed is approximately 2.08 acres. The applicant and owner of record is Executive Properties LLC, Chris Kilgore. This area is within the growth boundary shown in the 2022 comprehensive plan, and the future land use map in the plan shows this property in the neighborhood residential area, which consists of medium-density residential development with limited commercial and institutional uses that are complementary to the surrounding residential land uses. This item was reviewed and unanimously recommended by the Planning Board meeting of July 15, 2024. I move ordinance 25-231.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Mallard. We have a motion. We have a second. Questions or discussion on this item? Roll call vote.
Councilor Beck?
Yes.
Councilor Dean?
Yes.
Councilor Fish?
Yes.
Councilor Fournier?
Yes.
Councilor Hahn?
Yes.
Councilor Leonard?
Yes.
Councilor Mallett?
Yes.
Councilor Pelletier?
Yes.
8 yes, 0 no.
25-231 has passage. Next item.
25-232 ordinance amending Chapter 165 Land Development Code District Map to rezone a portion of property located at 1017 Union Street from Government and Institutional Service District to Shopping and Personal Service District. Councilor Fish.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. This ordinance would amend the Land Development Code District Map to rezone a portion of the property at map lot R24-017, located at 1017 Union Street, from Government and Institutional Service District GISD to Shopping and Personal Service District SNPS. The total area requested to be changed is approximately 0.22 acres. The applicant is Nathan Woodard, and the owner of record is Encompass Health Maine Real Estate LLC. This area is within the growth boundary shown in the 2022 comprehensive plan and the future land use map, and the plan shows this property in the neighborhood residential area, which consists of medium-density residential development and limited commercial institutional uses that are complementary to the surrounding residential land use. This item was reviewed and unanimously recommended at the Planning Board meeting July 15th, 2024. I move for passage of Council Number 25-232.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion. We have a second. Point of order is at July 15, 2025. Let the record be updated to reflect that, please. Any discussion on this item? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Councilor Beck?
Yes.
Councilor Dean?
Yes.
Councilor Fish?
Yes.
Councilor Fournier?
Yes.
Councilor Hawes?
Yes.
Councilor Leonard?
Yes.
Councilor Mallett?
Yes.
Councilor Pelletier?
Yes.
8 yes, 0 no.
25-232 has passage. Next item, please.
25-233 resolve, accepting and appropriating $1,706,934 from the Maine Department of Health and Human Services to support an overdose prevention and naloxone distribution program for fiscal years 2026 and 2027. Councilor Leonard.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I make a motion on 25-233.
Second.
This resolve will accept and appropriate $1,706,934 from the Maine Department of Health and Human Services to support an overdose prevention and naloxone distribution program during the period of July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2027. If approved, the grant includes $126,331 for overdose prevention and naloxone distribution throughout Penobscot, Hancock, Washington, Piscataquis, and Aroostook counties in both FY26 and FY27, $683,151 for naloxone purchase in both FY26 and FY27, and $43,985 in both FY26 and FY27 to purchase and distribute naloxone to first responders so they can provide the patients they serve with leave-behind kits. The Public Health and Community Services Department has been a recipient of the overdose prevention portion of this grant since 2008. The contract was expanded in 2020 to include naloxone purchase and distribution, and again in 2021 to include EMS leave-behind. This item was reviewed and recommended at the Finance Committee meeting on July 21st, 2025.
Thank you, Councilor Leonard. We have a motion. We have a second. Any questions or discussion on this item? Seeing none, 25-233 has passage. Next item.
25-234 resolve, accepting and appropriating $160,045 in funds from the Maine Department of Public Safety Office of the State Fire Marshal for public safety wellness reimbursement. Councilor Hawes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Excuse me. This resolve will accept and appropriate $160,045 in funds from the State of Maine Department of Public Safety Office of the State Fire Marshal for public safety employees participating in a pilot program conducting specialized cardiac and metabolic screenings. The State of Maine Public Safety Health and Wellness Reimbursement Fund has approximately $2 million in grant funds available for agencies to use for providing public safety employees with wellness visits or specialized cardiac and metabolic screenings that specifically address the physical or mental health effects experienced by public safety employees. The request to apply for funds for this purpose was authorized by Council Order 25-099 on March 24, 2025. This item was reviewed and recommended at the Government Operations Committee meeting on July 21, 2025. I move passage of resolve 25-234 resolved.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Hawes. We have a motion. We have a second. Questions or discussion on this item? Seeing none, 25-234 has passage. Next item, please.
25-235 resolve, amending Council Resolve 25-201 to reduce the appropriation for the Bangor School Department in excess of the minimum spending target established by 28 MRSA Section 15671A4. Councilor Dean.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. This resolve will amend Council Resolve 25-201, appropriating local funds in excess of minimum spending target limit established by 20-A MRSA Section 15671A4. On June 23, 2025, the City Council authorized appropriating $11,756,656 of local funds in excess of the minimum spending limit. It has been recently discovered that the resolve 25-201 did not factor in changes made to the school budget approved by the school committee prior to June 23, 2025. With those changes, the local funds in excess of the minimum spending limit would be $10,610,573. The Bangor School Committee gives the following reasons for exceeding the state's essential programs and services funding model by $10,610,573. Special education, $3,481,605. Transportation, $359,779. Co- and extracurricular activities, $1,320,194. technology, $813,290, and employee benefits of $4,635,705. The error of Resolve 25-201 was administrative only and had no impact on the school's total budget or the approved tax mill rate. The school's total budget resolve 25-194, authorized by the City Council on June 23, 25, included all changes to the school budget. This item was reviewed and recommended at the Finance Committee meeting on July 21st, 2025. I move Council Resolve 25-235.
Second.
Thank you, Councillor Dean. We have a motion. We have a second. Questions or discussion on this item? Seeing none, 25-235 has passage. New business.
Public hearing, application for special amusement license renewal of Pike and Pepperd LLC, doing business as Barlaments, 2 Hammond Street, Council Hawes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I move to open the public hearing for the application for special amusement license renewal of Pike and Pepperd LLC, doing business as Barlaments, 2 Hammond Street.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Public hearing is open.
Seeing no one approach, I move to close the public hearing.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Public hearing is closed.
I move passage of the application for special amusement license renewal of Pike and Pepperd LLC, doing business as Barlaments.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion on this item? Seeing none, special amusement license is granted. Next item.
Public hearing, application for special amusement license renewal of Smoke and Steel LLC, doing business as Smoke and Steel, 471 Stillwater Avenue, Council Hawes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I move to open the public hearing for the application for special amusement license renewal of Smoke and Steel LLC.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Public hearing is open.
Seeing no one approach, I move to close the public hearing for the application.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Public hearing is closed.
I move passage of the application for special amusement license renewal of Smoke and Steel LLC, doing business as Smoke and Steel, 471 Stillwater Avenue.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Questions or discussion on this item? Seeing none, special amusement license is granted. Next item.
Public hearing, application for special amusement license renewal of Sea Dog Ventures, Inc., doing business as Sea Dog Brewing Company, 26 Front Street, Council Hawes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I move to open the public hearing for the application for special amusement license renewal of Sea Dog Ventures Incorporated.
Second.
Thank you. There's a motion and a second. Public hearing is open.
Seeing no one approach, I move to close the public hearing.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Public hearing is closed.
I move passage of the application for special amusement license renewal of Sea Dog Ventures Incorporated, doing business as Sea Dog Brewing Company, 26 Front Street.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion. We have a second. Record should reflect that Councillor Mallard has left the room. Seeing no objection, application for special amusement license has passage. Last item, please.
25-246, order authorizing the purchase of fire truck from Allegiance Fire and Rescue in the amount of $1,158,294. Councilor Fournier.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion for order 25-246.
Second.
This order will authorize the purchase of a fire truck from Pierce Manufacturing in the amount of $1,158,294. The fire department maintains a fleet of 4 fire engines to respond to calls for service. As part of the fiscal year 2026 budget process, a new fire engine was approved for
purchased in the fire department. The department has requested to sole source the purchase of a Pierce engine from Allegiance Fire and Rescue. Every fire truck purchased since 1982 has been a Pierce brand, and by purchasing a Pierce fire engine, it will help maintain fleet consistency, improving efficiency and safety by providing similar components, features, and operations. A common parts inventory and diagnostic equipment, as well as having our mechanic trained and certified to work on the apparatus, reduces downtime for service. Finally, all of our Pierce apparatus have exceeded our intended service life predictions. This item was reviewed and recommended by the Finance Committee at their July 21st meeting of this year.
Thank you, Councilor Fournier. We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion on this item? Seeing none, 25-246 has passage. That brings us to the end of the regular agenda for tonight's meeting. Do we have any comments from staff? Closing comments from council. Councilor Beck?
Good night.
Councilor Dean?
Good night.
Councilor Leonard?
Enjoy the rest of summer. Good night.
Councilor Fournier?
Enjoy the state fair. Have a good night.
Councilor Hawes?
Good night.
Councilor Fish?
Good night.
Councilor Mallard?
Good night.
We look forward to welcoming you all to the new Old City Hall in 2 weeks. And last thing I'd like to say is this week we wish a very happy birthday to the Americans with Disabilities Act, passed 35 years ago. Make sure that all of us have access to public places and government and education in a way that puts